In this video, I want to show my current template, Logic Pro template. I have one at this moment, and I just wanted to go through it to show you how I set it up, so maybe you can do the same or learn something in order to use templates for your own productions. Well, this is my current template and it's in development. So every time I learn something or I realize something can be improved, I do it and I override this template. I have a few instrument tracks and a few mixed tracks and a stereo out visible. If I show my mixer, you see a lot more because of the drums track stack. But something I recently started doing is routing different elements to different mix buses. Well, starting from the top, I have a piano because I use the piano to capture ideas quickly, so I don't have to waste time finding a sound to capture, for example, a chord progression or a melody. I like to use pads, so I have a pad setup. Blue Carpet is a stock pad from Logic. I have some user patches. These are some pads I like. Most of them are stock Logic and one or two are maybe from Diva or another synth. Let's see. So piano, a pad, instrument 28. This is Sample Alchemy. I recently learned about how to actually use this plugin. I did know it exists, but I never really found a use for it. So now I learned to use the scrub mode. I have some Apple loop in here, but this is just here, so I can use it more quickly. I actually do not use it that often, but I really want to, so I gave it a place in my template. Then I have an instrument track for Diva. I really like Diva as a synthesizer. I use mainly presets, but every time I learn something about it, so I'm getting close to the point of sound designing my own sounds. But I like Diva. I like it sometimes for bass, sometimes for plugs or melodies. I have I feel like quite a lot of templates, and I mainly use the PML Organic House pack. I purchased that one a while back, and I like well, it's besides the point, but I like these plugs. Then I have something I also started doing recently is a drum machine designer instance, and I created a how do you call it, a drum kit with all my favorite sounds, so I can find them quickly, and I also start to form my own sonic style. So in multiple tracks the same percussion is used, so it gives my tracks a more cohesive feel. And I want to um, explain more about the routing later. I have a bass track also with the Diva instance. I have some mix buses and the stereo out. And if you take a look at, I've not put them on every track, but I use send bus 2 for general room reverb to create cohesion with all the elements and make them sound like they're in the same room. So I use bus 2 for that. I have a chroma verb instance, should be 100% wet because it's on the aux, on its own aux. So that's something I also built into the template. And when you take a look at the drums, you can see I have a few kicks, and these kicks all go to bus 4 as their output. And you can see bus 4 is the kick mix. So the kick can be processed individually. When you load up a DMD, a drum machine designer instance, all the kit pieces, let me show you. Your software instrument track, DMD. If I load up one sample, you will see that the sample goes to bus 9 and it goes into the track stack. And from the track stack it goes to the stereo out. So this is the default setting. But what I did is I used the drum machine designer to organize all samples, but I routed all the kicks with bus 4 to a mix channel for the kick. I used bus 3 to route all the hi-hats to the mix bus for hats, because all these elements need their own compression, their own reverb amount, their own processing in general. Let's see, the rim goes to the snare mix because I mainly use this rim as a snare. Sometimes you can use it as percussion and route it differently, but I chose to by default route this rim shot to the snare mix mixer track, and then these mixer tracks go to the stereo out, except for the low or the kick mix. Everything that goes through this channel goes to the low mix, and the low mix track goes to the stereo out, and the low mix combines the kick and the bass so they can be processed together if needed. So a hi-hats are routed to the head mix, rims to the snare mix, shaker to percussion, Dutch for percussion, bongo, percussion, tom goes straight to the low because of the low sound of this tom. Perks go to the percussion, mix track, congas, perc, conga. They all go to the percussion track. So these are the elements I currently have in my default drum kit. So every time I find a sample I really like, I add it to this kit. It's in my user patches. I add that one, and the next time I use the template, I have also the newly added sample. Bass, as I said, goes to with bus 8 to the low mix channel, and this low mix channel goes to the stereo out. So I like this way of routing because it gives more control over certain parts of the mix. If everything in this drums instance of DMD goes out through to the drums track stack and then to stereo out, it's difficult to process parts together. And I really wanted one drum kit with my sounds and not a kit for kicks and a kit for snares, etc. I just wanted to place drums here and have all my favorite samples ready. And at this point I've more than enough space to add more samples. Well, that's something I want to show you. I also added a limiter and a multimeter on the stereo out, just because they inevitably end up there. So let's just place them there already. Well, this is what I wanted to show. If you have any questions or other parts of the template you want to see or to learn about, let me know, and then I can make a new video about that. Thanks.